Now there are two pie charts here. The first pie chart talks about percentage of male job seekers dream profile, right? So percentage of male job seekers dream profile. And the second pie chart talks about percentage of female job seekers dream profile, right? So there are two pie charts, one showing the distribution of males, the second shows, the percentage distribution of females across their dream profiles, right? Now dream profiles is like engineering, law, CA, IT, or medicine, doctor, etc. So if you look at the distribution of males, 30% of the males dream profile is engineering, right? 10% of males dream profile is law, 15% is CA, 20% is IT, 25% is doctor. Similarly for females, 15% is engineering, 10% is in HR, 25% is CA, 20% is IT, 30% is in doctor. So if you see, total will add up to 100% in both the cases. 30 plus 10, 40, plus 15, 55, plus 20, 75, plus 25, 100. Here you see females, 15 plus 10, 25, plus 25, 50, 50 plus 20, 70, 70 plus 30, 100. So 100% of males distributed across different streams, 100% of females distributed across various streams here. Now it says, given that the ratio of male job seekers to female job seekers is 5:4. Right? Now this again is very, very interesting. The ratio of male job seekers to female job seekers is 5:4. Usually after the pie chart, the total value is given. Total for the first pie chart, then total for the second pie chart. But here, instead of giving the totals, they have given us the ratio between the two totals. Right? It is 5:4. So based on this, we need to answer the given questions. Alright? So let's look at the first one here. It says, if a total number of male job seekers whose dream profile is CA is 3000. Now understand, total number of male job seekers whose dream profile is CA is 3000. Now very clearly, male job seekers whose dream profile is CA is 15%. So this 15% is equal to 3000 according to the question, right? This 15% is equivalent to 3000. Then what is the average number of total job seekers, average of male and female, whose dream profiles are engineering and doctor? So here we have to find out what? Find out the average number of job seekers, right? Average number of total job seekers, which includes male and female, right? Including male and female, whose dream profiles are engineering and doctor. Now first and foremost, if this 15% is 3000, right? This 15% is equal to 3000. Can you tell me what is the total value here for this entire pie chart? 15% is 3000. So what will be the total? Total will be 20,000. Yes or no? See, total is 100%. So here we know that 15% is equal to 3000. 100% is equal to what? So when you cross multiply, you get 20,000. So we know that total number of males are 20,000. Right? Now if total number of males are 20,000, what will be the total number of females? Remember the ratio was 5:4. So if this is 5 parts, what will be 4 parts? 16,000. So this will be equal to 16,000. So you have to cut down the number of steps that you put on paper, right? It's all about playing with these numbers, right? In fact, you should not even write this cross multiplication part. You know that 15% is 3,000. So obviously 100% will be 20,000. If 5 parts is 20,000, 4 parts will be 16,000. So you must be able to do these simple calculations without having to put pen on paper. And that is the key, right? That is where you will save time. Otherwise, questions and all can be simple, right? Calculation is what makes it time consuming. So we now know the number of males, total number of males and total number of females in this case. What is he asking us to find out? Average number of job seekers, whose dream profiles are engineering and doctor. Now how many are engineering and doctor in males? 30% engineering, 25% doctor. So 30 and 25 can be added, right? Because 30% is also for 20,000 and this 25% is also for 20,000. So 30 and 25, 55%. So here we have to take 55% of what? Of 20,000, 55% of 20,000. Same profiles, engineering and doctor in females. So 15% and 30%. How much is this? 45%, right? 45% of what? 16,000. 45% of 16,000. So find out this value, then this one, and take the average of those two. As simple as that. Now what is 55% of 20,000? 50% plus 5%. So that will be 11,000, right? This is equal to 11,000. What about 45% of 16,000? See, we have discussed in the speed maths video as to how to calculate 45% of a number. 45 percentage is like 50% minus 5%. 50% of 16,000 is 8,000. If 50% is 8,000, 5% would be 800. So 50% minus 5%. 8,000 minus 800. This is 7,200. Done. He's asking us to find out the average. So 11,000 plus 7,200 divided by 2. So this is 18,200 divided by 2 is 9,100, which is option 2. So most of you are right in your answer, where you have got 9,100. Okay. Remember, this question is full of calculations, right? Of course, understanding the question is important, but nothing very complex about it, right? You just have to play with these numbers. First look at 3,000, find out how much is 100% of males. Then based on the ratio, get the total number of females. Then find out what is 30 plus 25, 55% of males. Then 30 plus 15, 45% of females. And then take the average of those two values. So this is this is the reason I say calculation is very, very important when it comes to data interpretation. And then not only data interpretation, any question that you solve from quantitative aptitude, calculation plays a key role, right? See, the question says if 40% of the male job seekers whose dream profile is law is 800, then what is the total number of female job seekers? Now, he's talking about male job seekers whose dream profile is law. What is the percentage? Male job seekers dream profile law 10. Now he says 40% of this 10% is 800. Are you able to follow? You look at this underlined part, right? Male job seekers whose dream profile is law. According to the pie chart, this is 10. So let's replace this with 10%. Now it says if 40% of this 10% is 800. Are you able to follow? 40% of 10% is 800. So can you find out 100% now? See, what is 40% of 10%? 40% of 10% is 4%. 4% is 800. So what will be 100%? 20,000. Yes or no? Again, calculation. You need not put pen on paper for every calculation here. But anyway, 40% of 10% is equal to 800. 100% is equals to what? This calculation needs to be done. Now 40% of 10% is 4%. 4% is 800. 100% equals to what? When you cross multiply, you will get 100 into 800 by 4. So this comes out to be 20,000, which means total number of males is 20,000. This is 20,000. What do we have to find out? What is the total number of female job seekers? You know that the ratio is 5:4, right? So if this is 5 parts, what is 4 parts? 16,000. This we have done in the previous question as well, right? If 5 parts is 20,000, 4 parts would be 16,000. So your answer here is option 3, 16,000. So this, if you see, is one part of the previous calculation that we had done. Right, in the previous question we had done some calculations, right? One of those calculations will give us the answer for this particular question, right? 40% of the male job seekers whose dream profile is law is 800. So 40% of 10% is 800, right? Option 3. So see what the question says. If 75% of female job seekers whose dream profile is doctor are 2520. Again, like the previous part, right? Previous question. Female job seekers whose dream profile is doctor. Now females whose dream profile is doctor is how much? 30%, right? So basically you can replace this with 30%. So it says if 75% of 30% are 2520, right? He says 75% of 30% is equal to 2520. Then what is he asking us to find out? Then what percentage less is the total number of female job seekers whose dream profile is HR than the total number of male job seekers whose dream profile is CA. So again, based on this value, first of all we need to find out the total values of both the pie charts, right? How do we do that? See, 75% of 30% is equal to 2520, right? Now try and simplify this. Try to simplify, try to solve this and get 100%. Remember, when you take 100%, what will you get? Total number of females. Because we are talking about females here, right? 75% of 30% of female job seekers whose dream profile is doctor is 2520. Right? Then 100% equals to what? Solve this, what happens? Solve this, what happens? How much do you get? See, 75% is, again I am doing the calculation differently. Instead of taking 75% or 30%, I am trying to understand what will be the 100% value, right? So 75% is 2520, which means 25% will be 840. So 100% will be 3360. Right? 3360. And that is 30%. So 30% is 3360. 10% will be 1120. 100% will be 11,200. Right? So this question mark comes out to be 11,200. I mean, I'm sure you can simplify it. This is 11,200. Now, if this is 11,200, which means total is 11,200. Again, I did the calculation mentally. I want all of you to work on this. Whichever way is comfortable, right? Either you can take 75% of 30% as 2520, or try and understand what will be 30% directly, and based on that calculate 100%. So your calculation should result in 11,200 as 100%. Now this is total number of females. What is total number of males? You can find out based on the 5:4 ratio. So 4 parts is 11,200. 5 parts equals to what? 4 parts is 11,200, means each part will be 2,800. So 5 parts will be 2,800 into 5. This will be 14,000. So now we know the total number of males are 14,000 and total females 11,200. Look at the question. It says, the first component here is number of females, female job seekers whose dream profile is HR. Now female job seekers whose dream profile is HR is how much? 10%. 10% of what? 11,200. So 10% of 11,200 is 1120. That is one part. Then number of male job seekers whose dream profile is CA. Male job seekers dream profile CA 15%. 15% of what? 14,000. 15% of 14,000 is how much? 1400 plus 700, 2,100. So the two values are 1120 and 2,100. What is he asking us to find out? Then what percentage less is the total female job seekers whose dream profile is HR, then total male job seekers whose dream profile is CA. So basically 1120 is what percentage less than 2,100. Remember, X is what percentage less than Y. How do you get this? X is what percentage less than Y? X minus Y by Y into 100. Right? X minus Y by Y into 100. So that's what you need to do here. What is X? 1120 and Y is 2,100. So X minus Y upon 2,100 into 100. So 1120 minus 2,100 is 980, right? 980 by 2,100. Do this calculation. Of course, negative sign is there. It indicates it is less. Negative sign indicates it's less. Now you see, denominator is 2,100. That means 100% for us is 2,100. What is 50%? 1,050. So if the numerator is 1,050, it would have been exactly 50%. But numerator is less than 1,050. Yes or no? Numerator is less than 1,050. So answer should be less than 50%. Right? The first calculation that you must do here is this. That the answer is less than 50%. Now look at the options. Option 2 and option 3 gets cancelled immediately. Right? It should be less than 50%. Again, will it be so less that it becomes 40%? No. Because 40% of 2,100 is 840. Yes or no? You see, 10% is 210. 40% will be 210 into 4, 840. But what we have here is 980, which is much more than 840. So option 1 also is eliminated. So answer should either be option 4, 46, 2 by 3%, or none of these. Now do the calculation to verify. How do you do this? See, don't try to waste your time by doing all the cancellations, right? Don't cancel 0, 0 and do all that drama there. Break the numerator, always. Try to break the numerator in terms of denominator. So I would say, only focus on this part, 980 by 2,100. We can take it as 840 plus 140 divided by 2,100. Now why did we take it as 840 plus 140? Why not 900 plus 80 directly? Because 900 plus 80 makes no sense. Our denominator here is 2,100. So try to break the numerator in terms of denominator. Right? So denominator is 100% always. So 100% is 2,100. Which means 10% is 210. If 10% is 210, 40% is 840. So the idea is that we are breaking it as 40%. This is 40% plus 140. Now how much is 140? See clearly, if 10% is 210, 140 will be 6.66%. See, you must be that is the reason I say you have to be very strong in your calculations, right? If you have practice on your calculations, you would straight know that this is 6.66%. Why? 210 sits like this. I'm writing one step here. 210 is equal to 10%. 140 is equal to what? Now 210 is like 3. 140 is like 2. This is 70 into 3. This is 70 into 2. So basically you are taking it 2/3. Yes or no? 140 out of 210 is 2/3. 2/3 of 10% is how much? 6.66%. So that's it. 40 plus 6.66, 46.66. Option 4 is the answer. Right? So option 4, 46, 2/3% is the final answer. Again, the question is not complex because there are complex calculations. The question is complex because there are number of calculations, right? Each calculation is simple. I mean, there are too many calculations here, right? First, you have to find out what is 75% of 30% equivalent to 2520. So what is 100%? Based on that 100%, you have to find out total number of males. Then you have to take 15% of males. You have to take 10% of females. And again, then you have to go for x minus y by y into 100, which involves 2-3 calculations. So the question is not complex because of complex calculations. It is just that there are more number of calculations here. But if you are strong in your calculations, you will be able to do all these very easily. And without having to put pen on paper, right? No need to put pen on paper for every step there. If the total number of female job seekers is 12,000, right? So this total is straight given to us, 12,000. Then what is the number of male job seekers whose dream profile is doctor? So what is the number of male job seekers whose dream profile is doctor? First of all, based on this ratio of 5:4, we need to find out total number of males. Now see, number of females you know is 4 parts. 4 parts is 12,000, which means each part is 3,000. What do we want for males? 5 parts. You're getting it? 4 parts is equivalent to 12,000. So each part is 3,000. This you have to do in your head itself. Then 5 parts. Total number of males is 5 parts. 5 parts into 3,000 each. So 15,000. So total number of males is 15,000. Now what is he asking us to find out? Number of male job seekers whose dream doctor, which is 25%. 25% of 15,000. That's your answer. 1/4 of 15,000, which is 3,750. Again, do not write this step on paper. 25% of 15,000. Then cancel zeros and all that, right? No need, right? Without putting that on paper, you should be able to mark option 4 as the answer. 3,750. 25% of 15,000 is 3,750. If 70% of female job seekers whose dream profile is HR is 2,800, then what is the ratio of 30% of total number of male job seekers whose dream profile is CA to 40% of total number of female job seekers whose dream profile is IT? So first of all, focus on this. 70% of female job seekers whose dream profile is HR. Now female job seekers whose dream profile is HR is 10%. So the question says 70% of 10% is 2,800. So you basically know that 70% of 10% is 7%. 7% is 2,800. Yes or no? If 7% is 2,800, how much is 100% total? 40,000. Right? I mean, basically, like what we had done in the previous questions, similarly, you have to find out 100% first. So this comes out to be 40,000. Because 7% here is 2,800. It's getting multiplied 400 times, right? So 100 into 400, 40,000. Now if number of females, which is 4 parts, is 40,000, number of males would be 50,000. Right? Now what is he asking us to find out? The ratio. What is the ratio of 30% of total number of male job seekers whose dream profile is CA? Now, male job seekers whose dream profile is CA is 15%. He's asking us to take 30% of that 15%. Right? 30% of that 15% of 50,000 to 40% of total number of female job seekers whose dream profile is IT. Now, female job seekers whose dream profile is IT is 20%. So basically, the answer is as follows. 30% of male job seekers whose dream profile is CA is 15%. So 30% of 15% of 50,000, right, is to female, the second part here, 40% of Female job seekers whose dream profile is IT is 20%, which is of 40,000. Again, if you are smart, you will not put all these percentages because you know that these are common on both the sides and will get cancelled. So 30 into 15 into 50, 40 into 20 into 40. You getting it? 30 into 15 into 50, 40 into 20 into 40. Now simplify this. So I think 10 into 3, 10 into 4. This is 5 into 3, 5 into 4. And this is 10 into 5, 10 into 4. So 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 5, 45 is to 4 into 4 into 4, 64. So option 3, 45 is the 64 would be the answer.